Do you see these mountains here? These are the Alps. Wouldn't it be cool if there was a kingdom here? I mean, there is in modern day, but in Crusader Kings III, Switzerland is distinctly missing. Well, if you get these 3 duchies and complete a few other odd requirements, you can form the Swiss Confederation and get yourself a nice pink Kingdom of Switzerland title. In this video, we're going to form Switzerland and then play tall here. I mean, what's taller than a mountain range? Oh? You don't know what playing tall is? Tall is the art of strengthening a nation not through war, but through stewardship, investing in lands, building the economy, and watching your people thrive. We'll be starting as Count Gerald II of Bern, a measly vassal of Lotharingia in the 867 start date. I will need to lay claim to land currently owned by East Francia and Italy to form the Kingdom of Switzerland. Once we secure the Swiss nation, I will keep to myself and develop the nation to make Switzerland the strongest kingdom in the entire world. Switzerland doesn't have any special buildings, and a lot of the land is mountainous, which lowers the development growth by quite a bit. We'll need to stack mountain development modifiers to make use of this hazardous terrain, so I will create the ultimate Swiss culture to do just that. Our base culture of Swabian conveniently has the tradition mountain homes by default, but I plan to add hill dwellers, which increases development in hills, and mountain ruralism, which adds development in both mountains and hills. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We first need to establish a base of power if we're going to get anywhere. But before we do that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and maybe become a channel member if you'd like. I'd really appreciate it. Next week, once the new DLC comes out, I will be hosting a huge multiplayer game where we all play in China, and if you'd like to join, check out the Discord in the description. We start the game with 2 counties, our capital here, which is the plains, and a second county, which has the hills terrain. To form Switzerland, we will need these 3 duchies, so the plan will be to take this land as soon as possible. Our character is a schemer, which means they're good at murder and kidnapping. Normally, I'd use these abilities to get independence from my liege, but this game will be different. One of the requirements to form Switzerland is to be a vassal of an empire, so I will attempt to make my liege an emperor. All the kingdoms around here are run by the same dynasty, the Karlings, so I could possibly kill a bunch of people so our liege inherits all the land. Right now though, I should expand by taking this county right next to us. I can marry this girl for an alliance to make us way stronger. Our military without an alliance isn't good, as we just have 1 stack of heavy infantry. Because I'm going to be conquering land, I'm going with an authority focus for the control growth. When you take new lands, you don't get anything from it until you get the control up, so this will help us do just that. Now we can't just declare war on our neighbor, since we're both Catholic, so I'll have to fabricate a claim which will take us 21 months. In the meantime, I can fabricate a hook on our liege to force him to make us a counselor. I'm realizing now that our character doesn't make any sense. He's just, which makes intrigue actions cause us a bunch of stress. So why is he a schemer? There's the claim completed for 93 gold. They also have an ally, so it's not a guaranteed victory. I'm still gonna go for it, of course. Oh my god. Our liege is at war and the enemy troops just came and destroyed my army for no reason. I'm calling him my ally, but I literally don't have troops anymore. At least I was able to fabricate a hook on our liege. I can now get him to make us his steward, which will give us 2 extra gold per month. Our land is getting sieged, and our allies' army is far away in England doing something else, so I think we're screwed. Yeah, okay, that's an embarrassing start. Our wife just gave birth to an ugly daughter, and luckily that means we can get ourselves another ally that hopefully won't be useless. I saved up some money because we actually have enough land to form the Duchy of Transjordania from the start. Oh, well, that was pointless. I thought I'd be able to do a de jure war, but we don't have the innovation for that, so I'll have to fabricate a claim again. Oh, never mind. Our liege will give us our neighbor as a vassal since he falls under our duchy. Well, that was easy. I could have just done that from the start. I want to control the land directly to get 100% of the gold from it. So I need limited crown authority to revoke our vassal's title. We have the innovation for it, so I can just upgrade that now. We have to fight him for it, but that's okay. It'll also give us tyranny, but once we take his title, we don't have any other vassals, so that just doesn't matter. Oh, damn. They killed my heir in a battle. Oh, and I just died too. We're now our 12-year-old grandson. At least we were able to win the war against our vassal. Now I can revoke his title to hold the land directly. I don't even have enough courtiers to have a marshal to increase the control. To get a courtier, I can negotiate this prisoner's release to get him to work for us. I can also matrilineally marry off a female courtier to get someone with high stats, which I just did to get this level 20 steward. If we're going to expand further, we'll have to fight outside of our liege's domain, which will be much harder. I just realized when we died, our uncle got this county here. Wait, crap, I should have read that. Well, I just ransomed my uncle instead of taking the land, but at least we got 50 bucks. I just became an adult, and we got the level 1 steward education. So we kinda suck. I don't want our dynasty to continue sucking, so I'm marrying a girl with the quick trait to start our eugenics program. So one way to get on the council is by fabricating a hook, but another way is to increase your taxes towards your liege to get guaranteed council rights. The money we get from being his steward outweighs the extra taxes we pay, so it's definitely worth it. Since we're not really strong enough to fight our neighbors now, it's time to build up some strength. In our capital, we can build the farms and fields to get 0.5 gold per month. I also went to war with our uncle again and actually revoked his title this time. Whenever I get enough money to construct a building, I'm doing so as soon as possible to continue making more money. I fabricated a claim on my southern border. Italy got consumed by our liege, so I won't actually have to fight all of Italy now. The guys I want to attack are allied to their neighbor who is bigger than me, so we can't attack just yet anyways. Are you struggling to get money? I have just a trick for you. Get the Golden Obligations perk, which lets you ask for gold with hooks. Then, get your spymaster to look for secrets in the Byzantine Empire. When you learn these secrets, you can then blackmail them for hooks. Then, finally, with the hooks, you can force them to pay you. I'm hoping our Liege of Lotharingia forms the Holy Roman Empire, as this would unlock the decision for us to form Switzerland. They need another kingdom title to do so. I have a strong hook on the Byzantine Emperor, so I can get 225 gold from him every few years. Blackmailing is great. With all the blackmail money, I've maxed out our domain for our current tax, and it has me making 8 gold per month, which is pretty good for how small we are. Because we're capped out right now, it's time to start building a military to take some more land, so I'm adding more armored footmen. That small county we have a claim on got taken by Savoy, and they have a lot of allies, so I'll wait a little longer. I can create an accolade to increase our army stats. I can also marry off courtiers for some knights. And we're making so much money, I can even get more armored footmen. Levies really don't do much, so if we have a bunch of men-at-arms, we can still win battles outnumbered. We got ourselves 900 armored footmen ready to go to war. Unfortunately, we can only go to war for one county at a time, so it's time to take Geneva. Sieging is going to take a while since we have no siege units. I only have 3 men-at-arms slots, so I didn't want to use one for siege units. There we go, we've taken Geneva for the future Swiss Confederation. We have enough renown for a dynasty legacy. And looking here, whoever our dynasty head was before started going down the erudition tree, which is great as the third one gives plus 20% development growth, which is something I want. Once our truce ends, we can go to war against Savoy for another county. They don't even have allies anymore. Our culture just unlocked the ledger innovation. It gave us an extra building slot which we can use to get more money. I'm debating between the hospices and the cattle pastures. Cattle pastures give you more money, but hospices would help us against plagues. I'm going with hospices because I really hate plagues. One thing that sucks is that our new county is a different culture, so we don't get the extra building slot there. Our truce ended, so we can get another county in Savoy. I thought it would be super easy, but now there's 3,000 troops also attacking Savoy. There's some random independence war against our liege. Oh, cool. We won anyways. That was easy enough. Well, we're a child once again. Our character died pretty young. We had no brothers, so we didn't lose any land, fortunately. East Francia is falling apart, so I'll start fabricating a claim, as we need the duchy to our east as well. East Francia is in this war, and in a huge civil war, so I'm gonna try to hop on this train and take some land. Yeah, look at all those armies that hate East Francia. And they killed a bunch of our troops, but it's fine. Now here's the actual army we need to fight. And it's a victory for us. I think the Civil War just ended because there's a new opponent in the war. New opponent or not, we've won the war. We're actually getting fairly big. There's only 4 more counties left to take. We're now the Swabian culture head, so we can pick what to research. We also entered the early medieval period. I'll go for manorialism first, which will take us 49 years. Actually, I'm so close to mustering grounds that I'll finish that first, then go for manorialism. Mustering grounds just finished, so we can actually go for manorialism now. It'll give us duchy buildings and economic building upgrades when we also get battlements. Our truce with Savoy ended once again, so I'm declaring war for another claim of ours. This time I can buy some onagers to be able to help siege castles on our own. They don't have a big army at all, so I just stack wipe them. And there's another war won, and another county achieved. We can usurp the duchy title to claim it ourselves. Because we own the duchy title, our Liege of Lotharingia is granting us the last county in the Savoy Duchy. So that means we now own all of Savoy, and we just need to take 2 more counties. I'm in a bit of debt, but that's nothing a little blackmail won't solve. I'm also at 10 gold a profit per month. The bottleneck for getting stronger is our research, so I'm switching from a steward lifestyle to a learning lifestyle. The scholarship focus will give us development, which increases research speed, and the first perk in the scholar tree, scientific, which also increases research speed. So I've mentioned the mountain homes part of our culture, but our other traditions are great too. We have parochialism, which makes cities give more taxes, development, and levies. The important part is the development, as increased development in cities means increased development in the whole county. We also have industrious, which increases development when constructing buildings. And it lets you build the absolute best buildings, windmills and watermills, an entire era early. But why do we care so much about development? Other than the research speed, development also directly impacts the amount of gold you make per month from a county. The higher development, the more money you make, and
I like money.
East Francia is the only thing that stands in the way of the rest of the Switzerland land. So, let's go to war. They have no allies, so it shouldn't be too hard. They had more troops, but we had more men-at-arms, so we won the battle. It was close though, so I'll call in this house member just in case. We may be at war, but we just unlocked the scientific perk. Our research speed should pick up now. Another war won. We just need one more county now. The county we just won has a temple as its main holding, which we can't hold ourselves. So I'll swap the county capital over to a castle, so we can actually get some money from it. Once we get the control up, of course. Yeah, we really just need this one county. Our eugenics is working as we just had a son be born with the intelligent trait. It increases all his stats by 3. Another way to make extra money is to just be Catholic. The Pope will give you free stuff. Someone's trying to murder me! To stop this, I'll have to redouble guards. I don't like getting murdered. Our liege has 3 kingdoms, which normally is enough to form an empire. But each kingdom is in a different de jure empire, so there is no title to create. Oh, what the hell? East Francia just got gobbled up by West Slavia here? You know, West Slavia is an empire. If I was to get independence, I could possibly join West Slavia as a vassal to fulfill the requirement of being a vassal of an empire. There's actually already an independence faction here, so I can join this. I don't think there's any reason to wait, so I'll just go for it. Well, that was easy. Lotharingia didn't even fight for it, they just gave us freedom. Now let's see if we can join West Slavia. So they'd accept high feudal obligations, but not normal obligations. If I increase his opinion of us, it should make him more likely to accept just normal obligations. Okay, well, we're really right on the edge at -3 now. I hate to do this, but we can send him our general to increase opinion further. Now he'll accept normal obligations. Because we already own the duchy title, he'll just up and give us the last county we need to form Switzerland. That was kinda anticlimactic, but we have all the land we need. I thought we'd be able to form it right away, but we're missing the level of fame requirement. We'll need to get up a tier. Time to host feasts and stuff. Well, this can't be good. Our liege wants to revoke our title because we are Catholic, and well, I like my title, so I'm gonna have to say no. Now is definitely a good time to upgrade our men-at-arms as much as possible. What sucks is that it costs prestige to call in our allies to this war. I'm just gonna say it. It's kind of bullshit that we're the attackers in this war. Our liege wants to take my title. I should be the defender. Now, that was some nice damage to their army. And because we're the attackers, the defenders actually control the war target, so we are losing the war right now. The war target in these kind of wars is the enemy's capital. Yes, in a war to defend my land, I have to take the enemy capital. That would be like if the US during the revolution had to sail over and take London to get independence. Well, anyways, I walked my army around West Slavia to get to the capital and just take it. We can now do a white peace. Fully winning the war would just dispose of the leader, and a new leader who would also hate us would be put in charge, so that doesn't really matter. We somehow didn't have the mods innovation before, but now that we do, I can upgrade these buildings. I just reached illustrious, so we can form Switzerland, once I get a little more gold. When we form Switzerland, we will get the kingdom title, and we will get absolute crown authority, which usually requires an innovation to get, but we will get it automatically. Right here you can see royal prerogative lets you get absolute crown authority, but once we form the title, this innovation is pointless. Hey, look at that. We're pink and Switzerland. Now that we have our nation set up, it's time to become overpowered. One step will be to create a hybrid culture with the Czechs. They have mountaineer ruralism, which is one of those traditions that increases development in mountains. They also have a bureaucratic ethos, which increases development as well. We just got enough renown to get treasured knowledge, so there's another increase to development. Oh, we're gonna get so developed. To form that hybrid culture, we need a Czech county, so I fabricated a claim on one. Well, that figures. I knew it was only a matter of time before our truce ended and our liege would try to revoke our title. War it is! Let me just ignore that war for a sec. We won the other war for a Czech county, so I'm promoting cultural acceptance. It's gonna take a while, but once we reach 40% acceptance, we can form the hybrid culture. Now back to the scary war. I just ran over and took their capital yet again for a white peace. So I guess it wasn't that scary. I fear this is going to be a common occurrence. Another way to increase cultural acceptance is through majesty tours, so I'll be doing these whenever possible. To our south, I took a random county just so that I can grant it to a Czech guy to increase the rate at which we get cultural acceptance. And it's happening again. Our liege is so stupid. He declared the war and is asking for a white peace like right after? What a weird guy. While we're waiting for cultural acceptance with the Czechs, we should go ahead and upgrade our own culture. I'm going with Hill Dwellers for the extra dev growth in hills. It's the obvious choice, and will take us 23 years to unlock. When we die, there's gonna be a bit of a succession crisis. Normally, I just kill all my kids to fix it, but in this case, we will use elections. For 1500 prestige, we can add a feudal elective, and since we own the majority of the land in each duchy, we get to decide who wins the election all on our own. Yay, democracy! We have finally unlocked manorialism. I'll go for city planning next, since we still don't have that unlocked, and it'll let us build cities, which goes well with our culture. Now that we have manorialism, we can get duchy buildings like the royal reserves for more development. To build this duchy building, we need to revoke this guy's title. We have a claim on it, so it doesn't cost us any tyranny. Once that other building finishes constructing, I'll get another duchy building. This county with the other duchy building slot is also owned by a vassal, so I'll begin fabricating a claim on it. Duchy buildings are powerful, so we want to hold each one directly. We're still going to lose titles on succession, so I need to get more prestige to add an election to each of our duchy titles and to our kingdom title. I forgot about this, but with an administrative court type, the Grandeur level 4 gives a bonus to promote cultural acceptance, so I'm increasing our court amenities a bit. Just got enough prestige for another election. We just need to add 2 more. It was only a matter of time, and that time has come, so we gotta beat these guys again. I really need to get independence. I attempted the same strategy of going around and attacking their capital without fighting, but their army is here this time. Oh, wow. I can't believe we actually won that. And now we've taken the capital and signed yet another white peace. I just finished another grand tour to get ourselves up to 27% acceptance. We're getting close to forming that hybrid culture. And we have enough prestige to finish adding succession laws. Now we have a feudal election law for all 3 duchies and for our kingdom title, fully consolidating the realm with a peaceful succession. I'm finally gonna do it. I'm starting an independence faction. I didn't think I could win a war against West Slavia before, as I was just sneakily getting enough war score for a white peace. But after the last one where I actually won a battle while heavily outnumbered, I'm feeling more confident. We can also buy another stack of armored footmen. We're making enough money to support this big army now. Our liege is asking us to convert. It's definitely time to get independence. Carpathia will accept a marriage alliance, and they have 10,000 men, so I'm really feeling confident now. We don't have enough prestige to call in allies, but who cares? Negative prestige isn't all that bad. Well, we have a hell of a lot of men here. It was pretty easy, and now we have ourselves some independence. Switzerland requires a liege to create, but it doesn't require one to keep existing, so we're all good. We've reached 43% cultural acceptance. Normally that would mean it's time to form the hybrid culture, but in this case, we gotta wait 5 more years for Hill Dwellers. It's time. Hill Dwellers finished, and never mind, we need some more prestige. Okay, now it's actually time. I'll grant independence to all but one of our extra vassals, as I don't want them to convert to the new culture when I create it. As mentioned earlier, we're switching to bureaucratic. For traditions, I'm adding mountaineer ruralism for that sweet, sweet dev growth. I'm also adding life is just a joke because we have an extra slot, not because we actually need it. The Swiss culture is born. Only 1 county converted automatically, so I'll have to manually convert the rest. And it looks like unfortunately our vassal in Czech converted to Swiss, so I'll have to prepare to revoke his title, as I don't want to give him independence and have him convert the land to the Swiss culture, reducing the average development of Swiss counties. Back in our own land, it'll take 3 years to convert a county. We finally got city planning, which is letting us construct cities in all our empty holdings. These cities will help improve the development of our counties a lot. Now that our culture is only in our county, it's only going to take 15 years for the battlements to finish due to the average development value. In our new character's coronation, I have the ability to swear an oath to shape the realm, which will increase the development of all counties once I construct or upgrade 8 buildings. Our claim on Praha finished, so we can go to war and take that from our vassal. This other vassal joined the war, so we'll be able to take their land too. And there we go. It feels weird taking his land, knowing I'm just going to give it to someone else to give independence. This time, the vassal will not be our culture, so I do not have to worry about them spreading it. This idiot kid also rebelled, so I could take his land. Now we're 9/11ing it. Switzerland only has 10 counties, so I'll own all of them directly soon enough. Our nation looks pretty nice on the map here. We finally have the genius trait in the family, so our next character should be awesome. We're crusading! Finally putting the crusade in Crusader Kings III. The crusade is for Egypt, and we're definitely gonna lose. Yeah, I'll help, but I don't really care. We just unlocked battlements. Let's upgrade all our castles to level 2. Once they get upgraded, we will be able to upgrade our economic buildings as well. We're going for bailiffs next for the extra building slot, as more buildings will give us more money. Our castle's finished upgrading, so now we can upgrade the economic buildings. Most of our counties still haven't converted to our culture, so in those holdings we just gotta wait for them to convert before upgrading buildings. Over in Egypt, we just did the trickle in and all die strategy, so this crusade is basically over. I stand corrected? We actually won? We didn't even win a big battle. We kinda just took enough land. Wait, my nephew became the king of Egypt, but he's Swiss, no! This is good for our renown, but I really don't want him to convert any land. I'm kinda hoping he dies and Egypt goes back to being controlled by a local. Anyways, back in Switzerland, I'm holding all our counties directly now, which means we get 100% of the gold from all of them. That means we're making 30 gold a month, but we are gonna get that much higher. Our culture is spread out pretty well, with only the Savoy counties being different. I saved up a ton of prestige, so I think it's about time we replace Life is Just a Joke with something that'll help us out. I'm going with City Keepers, which lets you build watermills and windmills inside of cities. Our cities are already buffed from parochialism, and with this we can construct the best buildings for development within cities as well, essentially making super cities. Plus, Industrious gives us windmills an era early, which means we will be able to make those super cities an era early as well. So our culture is going to be 3 great innovations for OP cities, combined with 3 great innovations for living in mountains. We actually have a super culture. These last few counties are going to take a really long time to convert the culture of, so I actually have an idea. This feels wrong, but I'm giving away this county to a Swiss vassal. I can then give them the directive to promote culture, which will get them to promote the culture for us. This way, we can promote culture in multiple counties at the same time, making it much quicker for us. My last character died, and the new one has the option to swear a Foster Enlightenment Oath, which is one of my favorite things about the new Coronations DLC. Once we complete the oath, it'll let us build a university in one of our counties. Previously, university locations were predetermined and there was no way to change them, so this is pretty neat. We just unlocked bailiffs, and thanks to Industrious, we can create the OP Windmills building. Massive dev growth, good tax money, and a % increase to income. It's the most amazing building. I mean, watermills are great too, and while they increase dev and income less so, they make constructing buildings in the holding way cheaper. I will be going with windmills where possible first though. We don't have a university in our country just yet, but we can still get educated in Rome, so I did just that. We got the level 5 stewardship education, Golden Sovereign, which gives you a ton of stewardship and makes not only stewardship skills quicker to learn, but also learning perks, which are my 2 favorite lifestyles. Our development across our nation is getting quite high and increasing pretty quick. While this county capital is a plains, the secondary holdings include a mountain holding and a hills holding. If you look at the bonuses to development, you can see how the hills development bonuses and the mountain development bonuses stack. It's like actually insane, but from our culture we get plus 15% from bureaucratic and another plus 60% from the terrain, for a total of plus 75% development in this county. Not all of our counties are that broken, but quite a few of them are, and the ones that aren't are still buffed to some extent. Once these windmills get built, we'll be getting even more development bonuses, so our economy is going to start going crazy. We're up to 32 development in our capital, but I want to build the university somewhere else, so we'll have to continue waiting a bit. And we're making over 50 gold a profit now. We're almost running out of money for upgrades. but we're making a ton of money too, so it's almost evening out. The final county that I was converting to Swiss myself finished converting, so I can now increase development in Geneva until it reaches 30. Geneva is one of those OP counties with hills and mountains buffing it. To make development go up even faster, we can just build even more windmills in the cities. Man, is that OP? The only thing that can stop us now would be a bad plague, so hopefully our hospices can limit the spread of this. Well, not everyone can survive the plague. Another quick way for some development, not in the county we need, but in our capital at least, is to get level 7 court grandeur. Geneva has reached 30 development, which means we can construct a university building using our oath. It'll give us development growth, and make us get more lifestyle experience, and even some cultural fascination progress. Oh, and it gives us the ability to pay $1 million to send a kid to university, which is something I will not be doing, but it is an option. I haven't mentioned Dynasty Legacies in a while, but I'm going up the kin tree because the 5th one, Graceful Aging, is really good and will make all your characters OP. Our vassals finally converted the land that I told them to, so as a reward, I'll take their titles. Now we're back to holding all 10 counties of Switzerland directly, and they're all Swiss this time. We are really close to 100 gold of profit per month, but since we have the extra income, I will start a legend to hopefully get the special building. Legitimizing legends have a 50% chance to give you an amazing special building that I'll show off later if we get lucky. We just casually fought and won a war for the Byzantine Empire, don't mind me. Now this random lowborn from Switzerland is the Grand Princess of the Latin Empire. Hey, we were lucky. We can now build a legendary palace, which gives plus 10% income, plus 15% development, and increases lifestyle experience by another 10%. I'm building it in our capital, and this is why I didn't want to build a university here, as I wanted this instead. And now, without promoting a legend, we're making well over 100 gold of profit per month. Constructing buildings is my calling. Stone by stone my walls are rising. While others fight and kingdoms fall, I'm stacking bricks. I'll rule them all. We have almost all of the text for this era, and as such, we must wait for the next era, which will come in 1050. With all our bonuses, I get lifestyle experience so fast. I can now get the avaricious trait, which increases our income, and with it, we are making a boatload of money. How's the rest of the world doing? The Byzantines fully collapsed. The Ogas? I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but they own a lot of stuff and have 50,000 men. Europe is pretty boring in comparison. Other than England having these random counties, it's mostly just kingdoms in their de jure land, just kind of chilling. Oh, we fully upgraded all of our domains. They're fully maxed out. To make your kids better, make sure you always have an excellent tutor educating your children. The new era is approaching! In 2 years, we'll be in the high medieval, and that's where the real money is at. That awesome leader I had finally died at 80 years old, but we should be fine, as all my heirs from now on should be great stewards with high stats, and should all be geniuses. Especially since I can pick my heir with the elections. I can't hold all our counties, but all I gotta do to fix that is marry a woman with a high stewardship skill, and set her to manage domain. We also just got enough renown to unlock Graceful Aging. This will remove the old age penalties, and instead turn them into buffs. Last time I took the Fostering Enlightenment Oath, but this time we'll ensure peace. I'm sure no one will declare war on us to ruin that. We've entered the High Medieval. I'm going for guilds first for the High Medieval economic buildings and the building slot. Normally I go for windmills first, but we can already build them, so I think guilds will be better. Our research speed is super high. Our capital is 67 development, which is the highest in the world, so we truly are the frontier for innovation. Oh, we're so rich, so I'm continuing to do legends whenever possible. I've been skipping the ones that don't give us a special building, but in this case, we got it, and we can build another legendary palace. I love the legendary palace. A new era also means a new tradition slot, and there are a lot to pick from. There are no new mountain traditions to pick up, so it doesn't really matter what we pick. I think I'll go with philosopher culture. We've been stacking tons of lifestyle experience buffs, so I think it would be fun to continue that. It also makes the scholar trait give research speed, and I always get scholar on my characters. I do need some more prestige before getting it though. All those legends we've been doing have actually been stacking dev growth bonuses on our counties, so that's pretty neat. All our bonuses have gotten us to 75 development in our capital, and it's still growing incredibly fast. Okay, don't tell anyone, but here's another secret to make your heirs better. If you assign them to your personal physician position, you can then enable improved skills, which will increase their learning stat and give them health bonuses. We are just about to get guilds, which will let us get more money. And there's guilds unlocked. Next up is hoardings for level 3 castles, and it'll only take 7 years, which is nuts. Our culture is cool as it actually gives us a special innovation that just increases domain income by 5%, which is nice. To be honest, I'm not sure which region adds the special innovation, but we have it nonetheless. In our holdings, I'm building watermills and windmills first when possible, then going for blacksmiths. Blacksmiths increase taxes by 1%, which is really good for us. It also increases station men-at-arms stats as a bonus. Basically anything that gives us gold is a valuable building for us. I don't have a song for this one, but I'm using all that money we saved up to upgrade all our new buildings. We're up to making 200 gold a month. Well, 199, but close enough. Our research is so incredibly fast that we already have hoardings unlocked. We can now upgrade all these castles to level 3, and once they upgrade, we'll be able to upgrade economic buildings as well. All these economic buildings can be upgraded to level 5 or 6. Now we've unlocked windmills. We were already able to build windmills, but now we can upgrade the level of our windmills and watermills. Oh, and we can upgrade our duchy buildings. Plus, we have another new building slot. The cost of new buildings is starting to get expensive, but we're making an insane amount of gold per month that it's fine. Like, look at this, 2200 gold for a building upgrade? I mean, I'm still gonna buy it of course, but that's a lot of money. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I'm adding philosopher culture to our, well, culture. We have way more prestige than we need, so that's an easy purchase. The expensive upgrades have run us dry, which is crazy since we're making nearly 300 gold per month. And this is on a new character who doesn't even have many stewardship perks. Hey, look at this, we're almost at 100 development. It's growing fast and I'm not even having our steward increase development and burn. Some of my counties are starting to have their buildings maxed out, but until then, I'm continuing to upgrade our stuff. Ignore the crusade for Norway in the background. Look at that shit. We're making 400 gold per month, with 0 vassals and only 10 counties that we own directly. Oh, and most of our land is in the mountains. We won the crusade, so this guy in our family now controls Norway. He's Egyptian, which is pretty funny. We unlocked all the important military techs for this era, so it's time to build ourselves a military. I got rid of all our heavy infantry, and I'll be filling up all our slots with armored horsemen. We can get them up to nearly 200 damage with our holding bonuses. I think a cool way to end this challenge would be to take over all of Europe, and restore the Holy Roman Empire. None of the AI in this game ever did so, and it's only fitting as Switzerland is supposed to be a part of the HRE. One cool thing we can do is create a Lancer accolade to increase the amount of armored horsemen we can have in each regiment, making us even stronger. I really think it's time to show off this power. We have all the important high medieval innovations, and we'll literally have all of them in just a few years. The next era won't start until the year 1200, which means we would have 100 years of 0 progress, and that is just no fun. So now is the perfect time to decimate Europe. Getting claims was easy, as I just bought a bunch of duchy claims from the Pope for piety. I will be ending years and years of peace and prosperity to declare this war against Germany, but it has to be done. I want to control all of Europe. This isn't going to be hard. Yeah, our first war was easy. I was able to just take a bunch of castles with our trebuchets. Well shit, we're 1 county short. The goal is to get enough land to form the kingdom, then we can just do a de jure war on the rest of the land. We can do this for every kingdom until we get an empire title. I'm making sure to give the land away to locals to prevent our culture from spreading. I bought a bunch of claims until I ran out of piety, and now we can go to war for most of Lotharingia. It really doesn't matter how many troops they have, I'm gonna stack wipe them all. Thanks for Lotharingia. We just gotta wait for these kings to get out of their wars so that I can steal their titles. I want some more claims, but we're low on piety, so I'll take a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. We got some piety from the pilgrimage, but instead of buying claims, I'm gonna consecrate our bloodline, because I think that's cooler. It'll just make Catholics like us a bit more. We can do it because we control a Catholic holy site. I can now usurp the Kingdom of Germany title. This is a good sign. Our small neighbors in the de jure Kingdom of Germany are down to just become our vassals for free. It'll make taking land much faster. There are a lot of guys wanting to become our vassals. Switzerland now looks like this. So we have a claim on all of West Slavia. This would make us an emperor immediately. Yeah, we're going for it. These guys deserve this for trying to take my land so many times earlier in this game. It's only taken us a month to siege their capital. Thank you, West Slavia, for that war, and thank you for all that land. Now we must deal with an uprising, but that's easy to do. We can create all kinds of kingdom titles now. I want to own every single one of them. Each kingdom we fully own will become de jure HRE when we form it. I'm not a fan of being called West Slavia, so I'm renaming it to Greater Switzerland. I was wrong about needing to fight the rebellion, it just ended instantly. Now that we have more titles, more people are down to join the new Greater Switzerland Empire. Because we now own an empire, we can do wars for entire kingdoms in the name of other people. Like this guy here, we can take Bavaria for him, and he'll be our vassal in return. So now Bavaria is a part of the empire. So many people are accepting vassalization. Every time one guy joins, another one next to them wants to join as well. The only thing that could cause our downfall now would be an uprising. This guy barely wants to be in the faction, so I'll just send him some money as a bribe to keep him out of it. We have this guy in our court who has a claim over the entirety of the French borders. It includes France, Denmark, and a large part of Sweden. They have more men, but my men are simply better. And we've stack wiped them all. Another way to get vassals out of factions is to form an alliance with them through marriage, which I'm doing to my strongest rebellious vassal. France is now mine as well. Oh, we are growing so fast. When we don't have a claim, we can look at all the potential claimants and invite one of them to our court. This guy here will join us. Now we can take the Kingdom of Burgundy for him. There are a few pockets of territory we missed that I have to go back and take to completely control certain kingdoms. Lotharingia just fell apart, and all the new independent guys here will accept vassalization. Unfortunately for us, the Baltic Empire still has an empire title, so I can't just take kingdoms like I've been doing. If we did this war for this guy, he'd get independence, and we don't want that. So instead, I'll just do a war for this land. I can't believe these guys are considered an empire, when we're clearly the one true empire. It's time for us to take Aquitaine. They've been doing pretty well in this game, but all good things must come to an end. Again, even though they have way more men, I am just decimating the army and winning the war quick and easy. England has land in Northern Europe that I need, so I'll take that now. It was easy to win, of course. We have 100,000 gold, most of Europe under our control. Things are looking good for the Swiss. If you're wondering why we are not taking Italy, it's because Italy can't be added to the HRE, and that's just something that's hard-coded. Also, I want to create the HRE now, but the Pope is traveling, and apparently that means we can't form it. That's actually fine, because I need 2 more counties. I'm at war for both of them at the same time. This should be the last war we need to do for all the land in the kingdoms we own. I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna form the best Holy Roman Empire ever. We're not Roman, we're barely holy, but we sure are an empire. Now, most of Europe is the HRE. I love to see it. Oh, and now that we're the HRE, we can make a nice, reasonable 700 gold per month. Okay, that's crazy good. Also, almost all our counties back home have 100 development, so that's cool. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and check out my other videos. Shout out to the channel members as always, and see you later, alligator.